You heard that right. The UK government is currently debating to ban foreign care workers from coming to work in the UK. If you know anyone who is planning to move to the UK or anyone who is already in the UK, this is the latest update which was presented in Parliament yesterday by the Home Secretary and the Migration Minister. So this is the latest update. Make sure you watch this video to the end and you share with anyone that you know would benefit. So the plan that the government has set out yesterday make it very, very clear that by 2028, the United Kingdom government will not be issuing visas to care workers to come and work in the UK. This is what the government is saying. By 2028, no more foreign care workers in the UK. However, before they get to the 2028, there will be a transition period. That is a transition period where companies will still be able to bring foreign care workers to the UK. These changes that I am updating you today, all these changes, they are due to start from the 22nd of next month. So from the 22nd of next month, that is when all these changes are going to start. So basically what the government is saying is that as part of the transition period, they will introduce from the 22nd of next month, they will introduce what they call a transition period. In that transition period, they will issue list of occupations that will be allowed to bring workers from abroad. So those occupations, they'll be able to recruit workers from abroad because those are sectors that the government have realized that they are critical to Britain's industrial strategy. So certain occupations will still be able to bring workers from abroad. But if you're coming to the UK under this occupation that is still on the list, you will not be entitled to salary and NHS discount. What the government is saying is that the change they are introducing is that from 2020, from very soon, in order for you to come to the UK currently, you need to earn 38,000. That is what the government is proposing, 38,700. However, what the government is saying is that for you to come to the UK in the future, you must earn 41,700 pounds a year. That is what you'll be earning. So they have raised the threshold from unskilled work such as carers. They raised it that you have to have a university degree for you to be able to come to the UK and work. So for carers, for most carers, you don't need to have a university degree. But what the government is saying now is that with these changes that they've announced yesterday, anyone who is coming to work in the UK, you must have a university degree. And it's gone to level 6. And within this transition period that the government has set out, the transition period before which is going to kick in, the people that will still be able to bring their family to the UK, they'll be on the list, but they will not be able, they can come to the UK and work on during the transition period, but they will not be able to bring their families. So basically what the government is saying is that by 2028, no more foreign care workers. But before they get to 2028, they want to allow companies to still be able to bring workers, but those companies, the workers, they will not be able to bring their family. And they've raised the salary threshold. Why is the government doing all these changes? Because they have realized that net migration is still too high according to the government. They still want to bring net migration down, and the government is saying that these changes that they've introduced now, it will reduce migration significantly. Let me know what your views are about the proposed changes that the government have introduced. And the government is saying for the first time that they are raising the salary threshold for workers who wants to come and work in the UK. The Minister for Migration said, and I quote, her name is Salma Mutora. She said yesterday in Parliament, the key change is raising the threshold for skilled workers visa from occupational at regulated qualification. Occupation at regulated qualification, those occupations where you do not need to have a university degree. And what they are saying is that the framework is now raised above level skills to occupational level 6. Level 6 is university degree. So what they are saying basically is that anyone who is coming to the UK, if this change passed through Parliament from 2028, you must have a university degree for you to be able to come to the UK, and you will be earning 41,700 a year. That is what will be your annual salary before you will be able to come to the UK. Some nurses council, the leaders of nursing councils and leaders of Unite, they have criticized the government policy. They said this policy is not going to work when currently there are more than 160,000 vacancies in the care sector. That how is the government going to introduce this? Government is introducing this when a lot of care companies are complaining that they are struggling to recruit workers. Do you think that this plan that the government have introduced today will work? Let me know what your views are in the comment section. The change that they've announced today, it will start from the 22nd of July. That is when this changes is going to start. The 22nd of July, which is this month, 22nd of July. So from the 22nd of July, what the government is saying is that if everything passed through Parliament, you will not be able to come to the UK as a carer. There will be a transition period, and that transition period is a period which will allow employers to be able to bring some workers to the UK. However, if you're coming to the UK during this period, there will not be a discount for your visa, and at the same time, you will not be able to, and you will not be entitled to discount. So basically, all they are doing is to make sure that before the next election, they want to do everything possible to reduce net migration significantly. They want to make sure that anyone who's coming to the UK, you must be earning a minimum of 41,700, and they've increased the salary threshold. Do you think that this is fair? Let me know what your views are in the comment section. And the government is also saying that there are people in the UK that employers should be looking at, those people who came to the UK who don't have a job, that they should be looking at those people, and they want to use this period to train up the local workforce so that they do not have to bring carers from abroad. This is what the government have said. So the key changes is that salary threshold is going to increase from 38,700 to 41,700. There will be a transition period from the 26th of July this month, and that transition period will be in place until 2028, and from 2028 no more foreign care workers. And during this transition period, companies will still be able to bring people to work if their occupation is on the list. However, if you're coming from abroad, you will not be entitled to salary discount and also visa discount. This is the biggest change that the government said that they are doing, and they said it's going to reduce net migration by more than 100,000 a year. Let me know in the comment section whether you think that this is a fair policy, considering the fact that a lot of immigrants in the UK, they're already struggling with paying NHS sub-charges, and a lot of them that came on the COS route, some of them, they've lost the company that brought them, they've lost their licenses, and some of them are struggling. So don't forget to leave your views in the comment section. Share this video with anyone that you know who is planning to come to the UK on the carers visa, or anyone who's already in the UK. The latest update is that there will not be any care workers visa issued from 2028, and there will be a transition period